All right, folks, we're back. I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office. We're North Georgia's only live online morning show. Josh, let's show everybody how they can follow the show, contact me. There's the social media email. And let's talk just a little bit before we get back to the President's press conference. Yes, I did look all the way around the internet this morning. I have several websites pulled up. There are several newsworthy. I only have 2 hours a day. There's several things that are very newsworthy. Maybe I should bring to you, but I was so upset yesterday watching the President's press conference and then watching how the media chopped it up and will not tell anyone the truth. So I thought, you know what, here's what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this morning and try to break this press conference down and bring the truth of what really happened yesterday instead of the liberal hashtag deep state corrupt corporate media. Also, tomorrow, Friday, right? We're up to Thursday already. Friday is we'll be up at Sycamore Crossing in the morning. Great show. Ask the Doc with Dr. William Whaley. The all-star political panel, they never have anything to talk about. I mean, have you noticed that, Josh? This is like the all-star political panel is always a blank. Really? Yeah, that's a joke. So we have the all-star political panel. We have assembled the brightest minds. You see, when the president looked at that fake news reporter, it said, that's just in your head, okay? That's not the all-star political panel. They are the brightest minds in the business. And we bring them to you every Friday morning. What else we got? North Georgia Senior Living with Jesse Barton on Fridays. Community Relations Director Cameron Hall. Always round out our Friday with the Humane Society of Blue Ridge Pet of the Week. Rena, which you will meet Rena tomorrow if you're a new viewer. She always gets in trouble every Friday. Not really, but she gets in trouble because she never brings a dog that I don't want to take home with me. But that's all tomorrow at Sycamore Crossing at 8 a.m. in Blue Ridge. Always love the Friday show. But right after this at 10 o'clock, The Truth Set Free with Candace. Candace will be on with The Truth Set Free. That's a very good show at 10 right here on this network, FYNTV.com. I don't know if I want to call us a network. Think of something, Josh, today. All right. Let's go back to the press conference, okay? Talked about Israel. We've talked about China, okay? Let's go into NBC and Sleepy Joe Biden. We did that one. All right, let's go to 1850. Excuse me, family separation. You know what I always say, Josh, and the viewers out there? The family incarcerated together stays together. Oh, I kill myself with that one. All right, so 1850, the media must find out. Are you going to put all the little kids back in the cages? All right, let's go there. And then when I tell you, Josh, we're going to switch over to 32 because they talk about it again there. So here is our press conference, liberal media bringing you kids in cages. Take it, Josh.
Why is it acceptable to lock up children indefinitely, which is what the result would be of rolling? Well, if you remember, President Obama had separation. President Obama built the cells. He built the cages that you people always talk about and attribute them to me. President Obama, in 2014, built those cages, and you were very embarrassed when the New York Times, as usual, and others put a picture of a cage, and they said how bad Trump was, only to find out that it was President Obama that built those cages. So President Obama had separation. I'm the one that brought them together. This new rule will do even more to bring them together. But it was President Obama that had the separation.
How worried are you about the long-term traumatic effects that children might face if they're detained indefinitely because wars end?
Well, we're being very strong on the border. You see the numbers are way down. I want to thank Mexico for that. The United States could make your question could make that problem go away very easily if the Democrats would meet and we could fix the loopholes and asylum, which is what you're talking about to an extent. But let me just tell you, very much I have the children on my mind. It bothers me very greatly. People make this horrible 2,000-mile journey. One of the things that will happen when they realize the borders are closing, the wall is being built. We're building tremendous numbers of miles of wall right now in different locations. It all comes together like a beautiful puzzle. But one of the things that's happening when they see you can't get into the United States, or when they see if they do get in the United States, they will be brought back to their country. It won't matter if they get in or not, because we're doing that. They won't come, and many people will be saved, and many women's lives will not be destroyed and ruined.
Joe Biden, sir, you like to attack Joe Biden's staff? Will we see a payroll tax cut, which is aimed at
I'm not looking at a tax cut now. We don't need it. We have a strong economy.
unlimited detention of migrant minors?
I am the one that kept the families together. Okay? You remember that, right? Just remember I said it. And now it gets even better. President Obama and others brought the families apart. But I'm the one that kept the families together. With what we're doing now, we'll do even more of that, but it'll make it almost impossible for people to come into our country illegally. Plus, we're building large sections of the wall. I won the lawsuit 2 weeks ago in the Supreme Court. We're building large sections of wall, and lots of other things are happening.
Okay, folks. You know, the President of the United States, go to 51. This is a poor quality picture, okay, but the media has gone nuts because Trump said Obama, Obama, Obama. Yeah, I'm sorry. Trump's obsession with Obama, okay, references him 20 times in 30 minutes in the CNN with reporters. In a chat with reporters, referenced him 20 times in 30 minutes. Now, apologize for the distorted picture. He looks at the reporter. Yes, I'm worried about the kids. Are you worried about the children? Yeah. So why don't you turn your ass around? Once I get on this thing, you see this thing with the whoop, 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 whoop. Those are the, boom. I get on this thing over here, right? I leave. What you do is get your ass in the car, all of you, go over there to Capitol Hill, and ask them if they are worried about the children. Ask them if they want to discontinue the cages that President Obama built. Ask them what to do. Plus, you keep saying children. What about women's lives that are destroyed in this 2,000-mile hike, okay? And it's not exactly the Appalachian Trail. What about that? Why don't you go talk to them? And then come back and talk to me, because you understand I didn't build the cages that the kids are in. I didn't do it, okay? I've kept the families together. So we're going to move on from that, but I wanted you to hear, all right? I wanted you to hear what the president had to say, okay, concerning, I think we have, now let's go to background checks, okay? Everybody's up in arms on background checks. I don't know. Let's see. There's three. Is there 3 spots? I do know of 2. So let's go to this background checks. Now, Antifa's going to come in. All right. Josh, let's go to 157, 650, 844, 850, and 2335. We're going to play this. It's a little lengthy, but let's go to these spots. When I give you the high sign, switch to the next one, okay? Background checks. Let's start there.
But nothing like they did. Oh, I have an appetite for background checks. We're going to be doing background checks. We're working with Democrats. We're working with Republicans. We already have very strong background checks, but we're going to be filling in some of the loopholes, as we call them, at the border. And speaking about at the border, it would be really nice if the Democrats would indeed fix the loopholes, because it would be really nice. But despite that, I want to thank Mexico. They have 26,000 soldiers at our border, and they're really stopping people from coming in. So what happens is, with background checks, we're dealing with Democrats, we're dealing with Republicans, we're dealing with the NRA, we're dealing with gun owners, we're dealing with everybody. And I think we're going to have something, hopefully, that's meaningful. No, I didn't say anything about that. We had. Go ahead.
Mr. President, with regard to background checks, why shouldn't anyone who wants to buy a gun go through a background check? What's wrong with that?
Well, what we're doing is I want guns to be in the hands of people that are mentally stable. And those people, I want them to easily be able to get a gun. But people that are insane, people that are sick up here, I don't want them to be able to get a gun.
So wouldn't a background check be a good idea for anybody who wants to buy a gun? Wouldn't a background check be a good idea for anyone?
If a person is sick, if a person is mentally ill, if a person has done things in their past that are a horror, like in the case of Dayton, except it got expunged because I guess he was 17 years old when he wrote a list out, and the list said it was a death, not about guns. He had a kill list and he had a rape list. But it was 17, and one of the things we're talking about is getting rid of the age limit. He was 17, so when he turned 18, it was expunged. So we didn't find out about that. And a big percentage of the school, the parents wouldn't let their kids go to that school because they heard about it, okay? It was a very big thing. When he was 18, it all went away. We can't let that happen.
Mr. President, question about the economy. Mr. President, 100 people a day die from guns.
I want a primary. Go ahead.
The Reserve Justice Department plans to dust off the H. Brown law and prosecute the demonstrators under the law that makes it a federal crime.
We're looking at we're looking at a lot of different things relative to Antifa. Antifa, in my opinion, is a terrorist organization. You see what they've been doing. We've had great support on that. We're looking at various different things.
Why is come up with ways to hold migrant families longer? To hold migrant families?
Go ahead, behind you. Behind you.
So with Greenland entirely off the table, are you looking at any additional land to defend industry?
No, we're just looking. Greenland was just an idea.
Mental illness could not have been gun violence problem. You really denied the incredible access to guns in the United States.
There are many, many things in play. People are talking about videos. People are talking about lots of different things. But we do have a way of bringing what we already have, because we have many, many, as you know, we have many, many people that are unable to buy guns right now. Many people are unable to buy guns. We have background checks, but there are loopholes in the background checks, and that's what I spoke to the NRA about yesterday. They want to get rid of the loopholes as well as I do. At the same time, I don't want to take away people's Second Amendment rights. I don't want to take away the Constitution having to do with gun ownership. And you know, we can't let that slope go so easy that we're talking about background checks, that all of a sudden we're talking about let's take everybody's gun away. People need weapons, unfortunately, for protection.
But so that word slope, that is an NRA talking point.
Oh, it's a Trump talking point.
You had originally said that you
You
didn't agree
approve
with it.
one thing, then another thing, then another thing, then all of a sudden you're on that slope, and all of a sudden nobody has any legal protection. We have a Second Amendment.
Disagree with that.
On
Disagree with that.
We have a Second Amendment, and our Second Amendment will remain strong. Go ahead.
Was that the last one, Josh? Was that the last clip in that? I want to make sure I got all of them there. Just give me a note there if that was all of them. Okay. 100 people a day die in gun violence. Are you not worried about that? Yes, I'm worried about that. Yes, I'm concerned. What's wrong with you idiots? Total idiots. So there's the background check, because a lot of this I'm just playing for you because nobody's going to tell you the truth of what happened in this press conference. All they pulled out is I am the chosen one. Well, you know what? I am actually glad the American people chose him. Let's do Greenland and Denmark. Let's go there next. Okay. Then we've got to, and then I want to get to birthright citizenship, the Fed, ISIS. He covered everything, every single thing, but no, the media is not going to let you know that. So let's go to Denmark. We've got 3 clips there, Josh, and Greenland. All right. President Trump, if you say something ugly, all right, so if I say, well, you don't have to be ugly about it, right? He chooses nasty, and they freak out. But he will not let anyone disrespect the American people. Now, Greenland is something that has been discussed many times in this country, but only now is Trump off the crazy train. Is he on the crazy train off the rails by bringing it up? So let's go to 451 Denmark, and then I will bring up, there's two more after that in the clip, so we can get that one. Let's go with that one, Josh.
President, can you explain your decision not to go to Denmark? Is it really because they wouldn't talk about selling Greenland?
No, Denmark, I look forward to going, but I thought that the Prime Minister's statement that it was absurd, it was an absurd idea, it was nasty. I thought it was an inappropriate statement. All she had to do is say, no, we wouldn't be interested, but we can't treat the United States of America the way they treated us under President Obama. I thought it was a very not nice way of saying something. They could have told me no. This is something that's been discussed for many years. Harry Truman had the idea of Greenland. I had the idea. Other people have had the idea. It goes back into the early 1900s. But Harry Truman very strongly thought it was a good idea. I think it's a good idea because Denmark is losing $700 million a year with it. It doesn't do them any good, but all they had to do is say, no, we'd rather not do that, or we'd rather not talk about it. Don't say what an absurd idea that is. She's not talking to me.
Mr. President.
Excuse me. She's not talking to me. She's talking to the United States of America. You don't talk to the United States that way, at least under me. Now, President Obama, when they wouldn't let him land in the Philippines, when they treated him so badly in so many places, the Philippines is one that comes to mind. That's different. That's different. They can treat him any way they want to. That's up to him. But they can't treat the United States with a statement, how absurd.
Mr. President, quick question.
Let your wife do it.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Who's the boss?
I am the boss.
I agree. No, we're just looking. Greenland was just an idea, just a thought. Why? But I think when they say it was absurd and it was said in a very nasty, very sarcastic way, I said, we'll make it some other time. We'll go to Denmark. I love Denmark. I've been to Denmark. And frankly, we'll do it another time. Respect has to be shown to the United States.
Yesterday you said that Jews and everything used to vote for Democrats are disloyal. To whom are they being disloyal, sir? And
Coming of God? Well, we'll meet it sometime, but the Prime Minister used a terrible word when describing something that we've been talking about for years with our country. President Truman said, what about Greenland? And he talked about it very openly, and it was a big deal at the time. And I brought it up again, and it was discussed many other times. And I thought it was not a nice statement, the way she blew me off, because she's blowing off the United States. And we've done a lot for Denmark. We've done a lot. I know Denmark well. I have many friends from Denmark. I have many people from Denmark that live in the United States. And we treat countries with respect.
They served with us in Afghanistan.
Treat the United States that way by saying, what an absurd, she said, absurd. That's not the right word to use.
Didn't they serve with us in Afghanistan, sir? They served with us.
That's absurd. Absolutely absurd. So the Prime Minister of Denmark said it was an absurd comment to even consider the United States purchasing or talking to them about Greenland. Okay. Trump gets it. You could treat Obama, okay? And you're not getting this reported nowhere. The media, Trump said, you know what? You could treat Obama any way you want. Any way you want to treat Barack Hussein Obama, that's fine. You do what you want, but you will not talk to the American people that way. See, Trump gets it. Obama let us, the American people, get trashed all the time and let the world talk to us any way they want it. President said, you know, I just floated out, I'd like to talk about Greenland. It's not like, you know, Truman did it. It's not like it's never been talked before. And when you say that's absurd, you actually said that's absurd to the American people, and I'm not going to tolerate it. I will not tolerate you talking about the American people that way. Now, I'm going to take a break. When I come back, you're hearing a lot about the G7 becoming the G8. No one tells this story, okay? So the G7, okay, used to be the G8, and that included Russia. And then, President Trump says, hey, Obama got outsmarted, by Russia. And then he cried to his European ally friends, and they kicked Russia out of the G8, which is now G7. I don't mind putting them back. Well, the media's in an uproar. Look at Russia did this, or Russia did that, and Russia did this. But the president of the United States explains why he would even entertain it. We'll do that as soon as we come back, okay? Russia, right on the other side of this break.